Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now with me, Priya Bahil. Now, viewers, a major scandal has hit the Delhi High Court. Yes, on the day of Holi, the 14th of March, a call was received by Tughlaq Road Police Station. This call was about a fire breaking out at a residence that was of a judge. Now, that judge happens to be Justice Yashwant Varma. He was not at home when the fire broke out. Fire tenders were then rushed as per routine exercise. Within minutes, they doused the fires. But the fire department officials found something more in the storeroom of that building. Bundles of cash. Yeah, we don't know exactly how much, but allegedly large amounts of cash was recovered. As per the sources, the matter was then reported to the police by the fire department, and later, relevant authorities were also looped in. This included the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, as well. What followed was an urgent meeting of the Collegium that unanimously resolved to recommend the transfer of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Varma back to his parent, Allahabad Court. Now, this has shocked the entire nation, with questions being raised on accountability and transparency. Take a look at this report by my colleague Bhavtosh from outside the residence where the fires of this controversy first started.
On 14th March at around 11:30 p.m., this security guard posted outside 30 Tughlaq Crescent informed the Tughlaq Road Police Station that there is a minor fire inside the storeroom. As soon as the Tughlaq Road Police Station got this call, they informed the Delhi Fire Department. Since the call was a minor one, 2 fire tenders were sent to this residence. Now, the fire was immediately controlled. But when the fire department officials went inside the storeroom, they found a huge stash of cash. Panicked fire department officials informed the police officers. Senior police officers rushed to this residence and they immediately prepared a report. The senior police officers then informed the top brass, and immediately the top brass informed the government. What we have gathered now is that Justice Verma has now been transferred to Allahabad High Court. Many are saying whether this is a just punishment or there should be a proper inquiry by any federal probe agency. We have not got any word from Justice Verma. Justice Verma's own career is a checkered past. He was earlier involved in a case involving banking fraud. We are waiting for a formal reaction from Justice Verma.
Now, while in general public, via media of social platforms and otherwise, there has been massive outrage over what exactly is this way of establishing accountability. But what is the legal fraternity saying about the action that has been taken against this particular justice? Listen in.
Normally, no judge keeps cash because his salary is transferred directly to bank. So, if a massive cash recovery is done, then there is a presumption that the judge has been thoroughly corrupt. Thoroughly corrupt. I think when Supreme Court holds an in-house inquiry, Supreme Court should scrutinize all his judgments given in Delhi. The judiciary is known in our country to be a corrupt judiciary, inefficient judiciary, incapable judiciary. Only rich people are able to approach, you see, High Court and Supreme Court. They can get justice at midnight.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You can tell me your views, ma'am. Because a cash has been recovered, huge piles of cash has been recovered from the house of Delhi High Court judge. Your reaction, ma'am?
I find it very disturbing that the Collegium has not disclosed the amount of cash recovered. This leads to a lot of gossip and speculation, which is not in the interest of the judiciary. I therefore request that the Collegium put all the details of this incident in the public domain. If there is an explanation from the judge, then that explanation also needs to be put in the public domain. We cannot have speculation on issues like this.
Apparently, the judges only decided to transfer the judge. Do you think that he should be asked to resign or take action against him if he doesn't resign?
Look, the first thing they need to do is to withdraw all work. That's step number one. Only then the question comes of whether he should resign or not resign. He should be called upon to give an explanation. We believe in the rules of natural justice. He should be asked to give an explanation. And all these explanations should be put in the public domain. But with instant effect, work should be withdrawn. It might be that he has an explanation that we don't know about, but we have a right to know.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
This is a matter involving a very high constitutional functionary. So I think the police has taken the right step of not disclosing it up straight away. But one thing good about the whole thing is that at least there is no attempt to cover up this whole thing. And there should be definitely steps taken to weed out people in the institution who are indulging in this so that the faith of the people in the institution is brought back.
There should be a corrective measure taken immediately so that it doesn't recur. The truth of the incident should also be found out and remedial steps be taken so as to maintain the faith of the common man in the judicial system. After all, it is the litigant who comes to the court. If his faith is shaken in the judicial system by the incidents as reported in the news today, the judicial system will collapse.
Prima facie, when the cash was recovered at this point of time, this is too early stage to say that whether a strict action has been taken or not. The action which has been taken by the Collegium is a very short action which has been taken now, which will be followed by stricter actions after following the principles which were laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court in 1999.
Now, this judge has been transferred to Allahabad High Court. What does that court have to say? We spoke to Harish Salve earlier, who said that no court deserves a judge on whom there is a taint. Now, the Bar Association of Allahabad High Court has also questioned the Supreme Court Collegium's decision to transfer Justice Yashwant Varma to Allahabad High Court. The Allahabad High Court Bar Association in a statement has said, "We are not a trash bin." In their statement, the High Court Bar Association has also said that cops found a large amount of cash inside a room that led to official entries being made about the recovery of unaccounted money, which according to them amounts to 15 crore rupees. On the other hand, the Supreme Court also has taken the first step for inquiry in this case. The SC Collegium has now sought a report from the High Court Chief Justice. Sources are telling Times Now that his transfer is not final yet. First, a report will be sought from the Delhi High Court Chief Justice, and then that process will be taken further. Now, more shocking details are emerging. Believe it or not, have there been any attempts at some cover-up in this case? Times Now has accessed the report that was filed by the Delhi Fire Department. Now, this incident, remember, I told you earlier, happened on the 14th of March, last Friday. The report of this incident, however, that we have accessed was prepared on the 21st of March, which is today, 7 days later. It doesn't mention any details about the recovery of the cash in particular. My colleague Bhavtosh is now joining us. He has been tracking all the details of this case from right outside that residence where the fires of this controversy first started. Bhavtosh, what does this date mismatch suggest?
Well, this is a computer-generated details of the fire call. Remember, the call actually happened on 11:35 p.m. and this call was made by the security officers who are posted right outside the residence of Justice Varma, and it was made to the police, that is at Tughlaq Road Police Station. Then subsequently, the call was transferred to the Delhi Fire Department. Now, that happened around at 11:36 p.m. and it took them around 7 minutes to reach here. The call was a small call or a minor fire. 2 fire tenders were sent. Now, what the fire department has said is that it was a low residence, that is only a ground residence, and then subsequently it happened in the storage area or an area which can be considered to be an outhouse, and they said that it took them around 1 hour 45 minutes to do the cooling process, and then they left the residence. Now, the fire department chief has told Times Now that they had not recovered any cash, and when they reached the spot, that is around 11:43 p.m. on 14th of March, there was presence of police personnel, because the call was generated from here at the residence of Justice Verma, and it went to the police. And looking into the gravity of the case, that it happened at the residence of a judge, they were the first responders and they reached here. Now, who is speaking the truth? One has to wait and see, because no official statement has been issued by anyone. So what actually has happened in the case, because as soon as this incident happened, the Delhi police have sent a report to the government, and then government immediately informed the Chief Justice of India.
All right, so there are multiple stakeholders here when it comes to the investigation, but stay on with me, Bhavtosh, because now I'm told there seems to be a twist in the details of this case. What has happened is that Times Now's Priyank Tripathi spoke to the director of Delhi Fire Services, Atul Garg, and he has said that when the fire department reached the judge's house, Delhi police officials were already present. He is saying that the fire department never found any cash on the premises, and he further goes on to say that their role was limited only to controlling the blaze and handing over the case to the police. My colleague Priyank is now joining us for more details on this. Priyank, this is sensational. This just turns the entire story on its head.
But certainly, Priya, as we know that all the government department officials were there, and the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of the issue, and the judge has been sent back to his pen cadre. We will have to take this statement coming out from the Delhi Fire Services with a very strong scrutiny, because Atul Garg, who's the chief of the fire services, has been quoting his junior rank officer. But at the same time, he's also saying that if some inquiry has to be done, it has to be done by the government of India. They have no role to play with it. This is what the stand has been coming up. But at the same time, they are also saying that when they reached there, there was no cash which was found, according to the Delhi Fire Services. In detail, when we spoke to him and we tried to ask that whether the Delhi Fire Services respond to the local police regarding any further investigation and any suspected element which has been found on the spot, the Delhi Fire Services has started come out with a denial, and they say that our job is only to maintain and douse on the fire. We don't have any other further investigation role into it. So that's the official stand of Delhi Fire Services. Although we know that the
who called the cop? How were they present even before the fire department had reached on the spot? All those questions are still unanswered, and to find out the answers, I'll come to you, Bhavtosh and Priyank. Stay with us, but let's first play out for our viewers what the director of Delhi Fire Services, Atul Garg, actually told Priyank.
In social media also, and we want to know what exactly was found when the fire department officials reached to this location.
See, as per the record of level, fire was in a storeroom, 2 fire tenders were sent, fire was very, very small, fire was extinguished within a minute, and nothing was unusual reported by the team of firefighters.
So now the news report has also come up that there was some cash which was rapidly seized. So I want to know, ideally, if there is something suspicious or something different which is found from the location, what does a fire officer do?
The fire official has nothing to do with the suspicious thing. Once the fire is exchanged, we have to hand over that area to the police, which was already present in this case. Police was first to arrive there. We were a little bit after the police, and house or whatever you call it, the fire team was handed over to the police officer there and fire team chamber.
So do you follow any kind of different protocol in these kind of VVIP houses? Like,
hello?
Do you follow any kind of different protocol? Like this was in the case of a house of a judge. So the crime scene was given to the police, and then the fire officials stepped.
In all cases, not in this case. Whenever there is a fire, once the fire is extinguished, the place is always handed over to police for a further investigation and cause of fire.
Okay, so just to ascertain once again, was there any cash found when the officials reached?
As far as we were there, no, there is no report of this.
Thank you so much, sir.
That version there only adding to the mystery that surrounds this case. Group Editor-in-Chief Navika Kumar earlier spoke exclusively with Harish Salve. Here is what he has to say about this shocking sequence of events.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harish Salve, for joining me here on Times Now. On a day, scandal has hit the judiciary. And this time, a load of cash has been found at the house of a judge in the Delhi High Court. And the Supreme Court has merely transferred him out to the Allahabad High Court. Matter settled. The judiciary has no accountability. That's the perception people are getting. How do you respond to this scandalous development?
Navika, the trouble is this was an accident waiting to happen. The judiciary has, through the collegium system, eviscerated any checks and safeguards which are necessary in any system. My first point is, if this money had been found in your house, the ED would have been taking you to government accommodation by now. You're a private person. If this money had been found in the house of the Home Secretary, the Finance Secretary, the Defense Secretary, what would have followed? Suspension followed by an inquiry. If, perish the thought, this had been found in a minister's house, the whole country would have been baying for his blood. Why should it be any different if the money has allegedly, as they say, and I don't know, I'm going by what you people are saying and showing, if the money has been found at a judge's house? So first of all, double standards. Secondly, this decision, and I make no bones about this decision to transfer is wrong at so many levels. It is wrong because if a person has facing allegations, you cannot allow him to function as a judge. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you remember, there used to be a Justice Ramaswamy, very fine judge, let me tell you, Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court. He was alleged to have spent excess money on curtains and carpets. Nobody suggested he took a bribe. But that was an impropriety, that was a breach of the rules. The chorus became loud till finally the Supreme Court had to intervene. Chief Justice Mukherjee didn't do it from inside his chambers. He came into open court with a written order and read out why he felt an inquiry was necessary, and ended by saying, till the inquiry is over, I am withdrawing all judicial work from this learned judge. He sat for months as a judge of the Supreme Court without doing any judicial work. So that is what happened. And we have that already as a precedent in the Supreme Court. The second reason why I feel this is wrong at so many levels is the judiciary has no power over the purse or the sword, as we say. Its only power comes from the power of public opinion. Why is it that the government dare not disobey the Supreme Court? Because the people of India will not accept a government which doesn't obey the Supreme Court. If the people lose faith in the courts, that's the end of democracy as we know. And corruption is one of the worst elements in the matter of eroding credibility. And mind you, it's not proven corruptions, it is perception of how the system deals with corruption. And if the general feeling is he's got off lightly, and it's for good reason, that destroys not just him, that destroys the edifice of the system. The third, which is wrong, is if you find him good enough to take action, what's wrong with Allahabad High Court? Why must they have a judge sitting who has a cloud over his head? Then let him sit in Delhi High Court. No, he's not good enough for Delhi High Court, but he's good enough for Allahabad High Court. What is Allahabad High Court, a dustbin? So it is wrong at so many levels and for so many reasons. I don't think,
so,
and I'm
Mr.
bold to say.
I want to ask you because today cash has been recovered. At latest count, people are saying, sources are telling us this is cash worth several crores of rupees. And believe you, it's in double digits. It's not in single digits, the latest number that our sources are telling us. If it is in double digits and that kind of money has been recovered from the judge's storeroom, I want to ask you, why should not a disproportionate assets case or where is he getting this kind of cash income from be the first criminal investigation in this case, because it is a man in a public office and unaccounted for cash is found? Isn't this a prima facie case that the police should deal with as any ordinary citizen?
Absolutely. First of all, the Supreme Court, if the judge had offered them an explanation which was good, they should have taken no action and they should have exonerated the judge. But that's not what happened. I don't know, you people have some photographs or something of what was done. If you've seen the photographs and you say it's a large sum of money, which is a very serious matter, then there are two actions which have to be taken. The judges, I believe, have now ordered an in-house inquiry. I don't think the in-house inquiry is fair even to the judge. And let me tell you why. If the in-house inquiry finds him guilty, everybody will say you were only buying time and you knew what was going on, because ultimately you're the chaps who got the first explanation. But worse, if the in-house, suppose he has an explanation and the in-house inquiry exonerates him, what are you all going to say? It's a cleanup job, right? Everybody will say it's Operation Cleanup. So in fairness, what is wrong in having an inquiry with a judge and two independent, eminent citizens who conduct this inquiry and give a report? And if they give a report in which they indict the judge, then the CBI registers an FIR and the law takes its course.